Can set tempo, can make moves, can match Spirit
shit.
Breaker's movements kind of around the map too. That's the other good thing. It's like Ember's just so good versus.
Sorry,
So.
that Spirit Breaker just T-posed.
Oh,
Incredible dominance there.
he's really athletic, actually.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine.
Continue.
No, you're good.
That's an Invoker ban.
Yeah.
And yes.
It's the principle of just a counter aggression, and I said it so many times that the way OG picked Invoker when they first were coming back was because it is so strong at just stopping that 10 to 15 minute skirmish fights. You don't have mana, you have Tornado, it's like done, you're out of this. You can't continue.
Especially if we're playing like a hero like Ember, where okay, Flame Guard, bye bye. Right, it's just always going to be constantly getting dispelled. I think it works well with Spirit Breaker too. Like you can actually make a lot of aggressive moves around the map early on, like right after laning phase. You're just super active, so I like that.
The nice thing as well with the Ember pick, it also is like a soft cover in the draft to NaVi's previous lineups that they run with Spirit Breaker Veno. The Drows, these heroes that want to kind of fight from behind the kind of noise that these heroes can create. Ember just cuts straight through that and finds these single cores.
I like that noise. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say noise as like all this chaos in fights. A lot of noise going on over here. You can get right through the noise.
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on over there?
I just thought about it sitting opposite Slacks.
It's true. That's what an AM thinks when he's farming in the jungle. It's all that noise.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are
what are you guys doing?
teammates'
Where's my
portraits black and
carry?
white? Stupid.
Yeah. Viper again, another ban, indicating it's going to most obviously just be mid-Ember.
Yep.
This is why second pick is so favored. So most of these teams, not all teams favor it, but they can just basically pick a mid hero and just enable it through bans, or again like an anti-mage bans. Morphling.
Okay, so I mean they're trying to get rid of elusive cores. At least the Morphling in that one. There's still going to be like a
no lane pressure. Barrow Veno, you pressure the melee hero like the Terror Blades. Actually, what do you pressure that lane? You don't really pressure Jog, Lifestealer. You can actually do pressure Slark. Yeah.
You can pressure the weaker lanes.
Yeah.
Not really like the strong lanes though.
I guess it's mainly because of the SD, right? SD doesn't really have presence in laning phase, so most carries actually will feel a lot of pressure from this.
What else do they want to ban to set up for their Ember? What does he not want to play against? There's too many heroes to actually cover.
It's like SF, Co-op, there's so many, It's more, they're now looking at their game plan, what they're carrying, so they only just go for a Warlock.
So the Warlock Veno, annoying, they don't have a Dispel this time. They had the Oracle last time, which actually worked out super well. He was dispelling bonds and word all the time. It's a Navi special.
This guy's getting wasted right now. Did you see that? He's just
Big
got
old cup,
big old chunk of booze in there. Jesus. Guess that works for some people. Drunken brawlers.
To each their own.
You're, Kyle, very good Dota player under the influence of alcohol.
Yeah, he's spectacular. Even not under the influence of alcohol.
Jeez.
What position 4 do you think these lads are going to go for? Especially with the SD setup. Normally, you like to see anyone who can kind of play off of this. In no way will that as an indicator of Mirana, by the way. I'm thinking melee 4, of course.
Yeah, I'm thinking melee 4. Okay,
Oh,
just kidding. You jinxed it.
You
Well, because I think it's
yourself.
because the Ember's there too, but into Spirit Breaker, like Spirit Breaker kind of likes that quite a bit there. He's like, okay, I'm laning versus Mirana. It's always fine in that situation. So,
But the setup fogged.
Ooh, the setup.
the setup is there. I mean, it can threat. I guess that's one thing to it. You post threats to mid. A lot of time, if you do go for the things, I mean, we don't see it really happen anymore, but it was a very popular at TI. That was literally the meta. It was like, okay, OD, Ember, Mirana, boom, Kunkka, Mirana every single time. So, still can work. It's just people have strayed a little bit away from it. I mean, Charge is just very good versus this hero too. So
it is very much a skirmishy lineup in which I'm going to be looking at around 10 minutes, or that 7 to 10 minute window, that mid lane. Can they actually bring the support duo mid? Can they pressure this tower, take it, and then open up the map and allow the Ember to freely pivot and basically do whatever he wants? This is why when you look at these heroes in NaVi, Veno doesn't really leave lane at any point. He exists, he kind of bunkers down, he fortifies his position and tries to annoy the carry.
this
Void pick, it basically is a hero that can just sit in the lane. If the SD Miranda need to go and play Dota, like, he doesn't feel pressure from Barry, he doesn't feel pressure from Veno. He will early on, but 4-5 onwards, when he has a couple items, he's good to go. He just needs to play a little bit on the back foot.
no, I definitely do like that. It's a very mobile draft, and Veno is not really, like you said, he just does not really move from lane to lane very nicely. Spirit Breaker can, but
Not when you're playing into Ember Void.
Ember and Void, yeah.
And this is why we see teams like this, the Drow, this is
I
why
think
the
they
Ember
kinda knew.
soft covered it
I
already.
feel like they kind of knew this was
Yeah.
coming.
And like the reason why I think Spiritbreaker looked so good previously was because, for example, Viking, they picked it second phase after they'd already seen like at least 1 or 2 lanes the Barra could access. When you're picking it so early, I think right now they're going to be a difficult position where this Barra might be a little bit lost, going, okay, what's his purpose in the game? Like,
where do I go?
Yeah,
I'm just a
what do I
meat
do?
shield for Veno.
Exactly, that's literally it right now. Arguably, you would be saying this safe lane, if he ever TPs in or charges to this bot lane with the Drought and the Venge, it should net 3 kills every time. Unless you go into the Mirana and, of course, triple leap. But it is a hard game right now for NaVi, just to unlock their laning phase.
And I feel like they might actually do the same thing on Alliance this time. Pressure lane, leave S4 top, just like they did versus the Alchemist. You look at Drow, Venge, like, it can be a bit greedy. You can punish this for sure.
I think if Alliance just pick up any offlane that can be a deterrent to push, so like an Underlord type hero who can just be a little bit chill, defend the tower, allow the Void to hit jungle, allow the Ember to make his moves with the SD Mirana, then it's perfectly fine. I think the counter argument to that would be you lack a lot of, again, early damage like we said in game 1, but the way they played the map in general allowed them to not really have this issue as the lack of early damage.
Love Underlord versus Veno. I think the hero Veno does nothing to Underlord. Like throughout the entirety of the game, you actually just do nothing. It's built-in magic resist, your built-in pipe. But definitely can work.
Again, Alliance are our second pick, so we're looking more towards NaVi right now, how they rounding out their draft. I potentially would argue it's so hard because I don't think there's one hero right now that can kind of solve all their problems.
They need some catch.
Maybe Kunkka actually could be that. Because it gives you the catch, it gives you the tankiness to cut through the early damage of Ember, the run buff.
I'm really just seeing like Kunkka or DK, but DK you're just giving Ember a free lane.
They could go wild and just go national the way they go Shadow Fiend. Yeah, I think Kunkka might just be the play.
I don't see other options to satisfy that catch in particular, and just ways to disrupt inside the fights. Okay, I mean,
it's very. To be fair, it is good against Ember and Void in terms of that lockdown, but they are very much in the position of they have to somehow have a strong lane and just constantly go. Because if they make mistakes, I just see this Void just having a free game, Ember a free game.
Underlord looks better now.
Yeah,
he's versus Puck too. This looks like an actual beautiful, beautiful Underlord game for the roots, for the everything he builds up. The Atrophy Aura versus Drow.
Yeah, Ember.
Okay.
Explain.
Unkillable in the game. Spirit again, another. So you now have 3 lanes that Spiritbreaker doesn't do anything again, right? He's just going to pretty much exist and leech XP and be a AFK. Then Timbersaw in lane, he good armor against the Ventral combo. Early on, level 1-2 might have some issues, but when you get to 3-4-5,
you're unkillable.
Pretty chill.
Yeah, he actually really does look very unkillable. Like if Drow starts having a bad game, Timbersaw is actually just immortal, which I don't see Drow having an easy game. I think he's going to actually just get pressured a bit here. There's a lot of ways to get on top of him, a lot of different ways to actually go to that lane.
I think Alliance have a very nice draft, and they've really kind of bounced back from yesterday's series where they were kind of fixated on this IO a little bit too heavily, and these drafts are really enjoyable to see.
Odds reflect what our analysts are saying, of course. There's a big difference, but not as big as we've seen before, so things evened up. But I gotta agree with you guys. This Alliance draft looking pretty good. But, you know, NaVi, if they can get the ball rolling, they got a couple counters in there. You know, Venge not that bad against Void.
No, they definitely do have a couple things. I'm just worried that they're going to be... I'm looking at this Puck and I'm like, oh my god, this Puck has to have like... If he messes up a Dream Coil in this game, they're going to get slowed down so much. He's the only one that actually can like make aggressive moves with the Spirit Breaker, it feels like.
Yeah, I think NaVi have the same situation that Alliance had in game 1. They need to find the core they have to lock down and constantly play. So if Puck ever moves towards Timberlane, you can pretty much call it GG for NaVi. They need to move away from Timber the entire time, and then they might have maybe a shot.
Well, the time has come. Will it be a 2-0? It would be so sad to see the El Clasico go out like that. Or will this Puck do the impossible? Well, let's find out with our beautiful casters.
Thank you, Slack. Yes, game 2 of Alliance versus NaVi ready to go. Kyle, we've seen the drafts this time around. The panel definitely talking up a lot of the things that Alliance were especially finishing with. And compared to game 1, where it seemed like the drafts were close, Alliance were able to take the win. This time around, Alliance even favored from the draft. But would you agree? You're looking at this Timber and saying, how are they ever going to kill him?
I would say yeah. It looks easier to execute than the previous game. The one fear you look at Navi's draft, you got to be careful going to the Veno lane, even going to the Drow lane if you're Alliance, because there could be a teleport coming from the Puck, Spiritbreaker charges, and all of a sudden you're just ward spam to death. The support duo, we haven't seen this in a while. It used to be very common. The SD Mirana just dual roam, right? With 3 independent solos.
Oh, hello. Oh, goodbye, FNG. There's a little bit of a surprise waiting there on the high ground. NaVi set up as the full 5-man to catch Alliance off guard when they come in for that move. First blood for NaVi.
Read him like a book. That was not what he expected walking up the hill. Oh, man. But yeah, I love the dual roam, and if you can just get the Void off to a decent start, yeah. Are they going to aggro Tri-Lane with it? No. Yes, they're going to do it with the Timber Saw? We'll see. Maybe just a rune fight. Maybe they just dual lane. Okay. Mirana Timber off lane? Seems good.
I mean, but yeah, we'll see. As for just grabbing the bounty rune, we'll be sticking to the bottom. We'll see how long they need to keep the Mirana down there to help him out. Or it's going to get to a point where he can be left alone. And yeah, Immersion, he's going to make sure that he's up on that top lane.
Yep.
Looking to lane into the Void and having the Spirit Breaker and the Venom definitely means that early on it's not going to be too much of a fun time for NicoBaby this time.
Mid'll be an interesting matchup. This is a very high skill. Could go either way. Typically you end up trading. But I think Ember, if you get a couple waves going your way, is slightly favored, just because you don't really get threatened by Puck the same way he can be threatened by you. An off-lane Venomancer. This is so much fun for NicoBaby. He's very excited to play this lane.
Yeah, it's well, definitely one of the most hated heroes to lane against for most carries. That pesky Venomancer.
It's just especially annoying for the Void. Both fours, by the way, doing a nice job blocking the enemy easy camp, but you just take such slow damage that you're never really able to use your leap to acquire any kind of regen. You're just going to tick down. So, likely have to buy some extra tangos.
I say no.
FNG aggro disrupting the Venom so we can poison and sting him back, doubling the toxicity in this top lane.
And we'll see if NicoBaby's able to pop off to the same extent as he did in Game 1. This time round, of course, NaVi definite better ways to trip up the Void, right? It's not going to be as clean-cut of a game for NicoBaby to turn up, drop a chrono, get a kill. NaVi's got counterplays.
I think that addition of the Venge is key for them. I felt like they really suffered in the previous game because they had no actual save. He had a couple counter initiations, sure, but ultimately Nico could just chrono somebody and kill them. And you needed to have an answer if you're going to give that hero to Alliance once again.
We're seeing it in the mid lane. Things pretty close right now. I mean, 10-4, but bear in mind Youngji's got that full wave coming in for him. So keeping it pretty even between the two. Down bottom, I mean, Crystallize, he's going to get free farm here, right? S4 alone. Unlikely to die once he starts to gain the levels, but Crystallize is able to keep him at bay, just constantly harassing with the frost arrows and keeping it at distance.
Yeah, you're going to be okay with this for now. Once he hits level 6, it can be troubling. Crystallize will likely have to move over, and yeah, really well done. Hanskin, with that ward behind tower, he had an inkling that couriers would be coming out soon. It was counted out by Ilias, but not before Hanskin was able to strike. Top lane, yeah, this is the trouble for Void. Once his leap is used, he's just going to get ran at. And a lot of harass damage.
Going to take so much damage in this lane. NicoBaby's going to have to get quite a bit of regen out.
Yep. Because the trouble is, once you use Leap, you can't run in range of Pasha anymore, because otherwise he can just click you to death. You just get ran at by the Spirit Breaker, Poison Sting slowed, and slowly dwindle down. Level 3 on S4, so he should be all right now, with 12 stacks up of that reactive armor.
And Hanskin on the side, fishing for an arrow, but likes to find any opportunities. We see top lane going in onto Pasha. Getting one set of bashes, not enough to kill Pasha, but still, NicoBaby able to punch back a little bit. Immersion won't be able to find FNG.
This is just such an annoying lane. I love what FNG's chosen to do, though. I didn't see this, but perhaps it was part of the reason they first picked this SD hero, is just to actually aggro, disrupt, and counter Venom in the laning phase. It's definitely annoying for Pasha to play up against.
I think so far, though, all lanes going pretty evenly right now.
Oh, nice juke. Holy crap. That was very close to a kill on Youngji there.
Yeah, I had the ward here seeing him come across. So was ready for that lead in from the arrow. Limp is going to find himself a DD. That might give him a bit of edge in this middle lane as Hanskin still hanging around. Gets himself the level 2. And may even hover around mid again. Try for it once more with the next arrow.
Yes, they're not killing him.
Yeah, both getting good farm. That's top lane. Nico Baby, he's already used the time walk. Oh, immersion.
Oh, the blocks.
He didn't hit. Did he not have
No,
that
he
hit?
canceled.
It seemed like he stopped it.
I think he might have canceled it. And look at FG with the micro. I think he might get the kill with the Poison Sting.
It's going to be close, but you're right. With that TP out, he'll make it away. But a missed opportunity there, it felt like, on Nico Baby. Not quite finishing the hit there. And onto the Void as he'll survive.
I really like how Hanskin's played this. He's just giving so much free XP to S4. Controlling objectives.
I can't catch either of them. Chain and the leap. And they save them each and every time. This mid lane, it's an absolute... It's matched perfectly. 27-6, 27-6.
Yep.
Couldn't be any more even between these two heroes in mid. One of the closest mid matchups I've seen it. 5 minutes in.
Young G's got to be careful, though. He's got Coil. So yeah, mid was even.
It was even. All right.
Limp definitely just being the better on regen, though. He had the full bottle, only the one charge on Puck. And yeah, Young G, I don't know if you want to just silence into the face of an Ember Spirit like that. It wasn't even like he hit 6, surprisingly. He just killed him.
All right. Well, so sort of we saw the other thing happen in last game, though. Remember, Limp was the one to aggressively jump in and feed his life away. Maybe this is a sign of things happening in the opposite direction. You know, Young G makes a questionable move early in the laning stage and then may continue to dominate the game. We'll see.
It's quite possible. If you're superstitious, I mean, you'd definitely be leaning Na'Vi after that play.
Bottom lane, S4 ready to play aggressive now that he's hit the 6.
Yep, love
Getting aggressive onto Crystallize. Crystallize, he's gonna need to play very careful. As still, he's got to be careful. He's gonna struggle sticking around in this lane. He's gonna turn with the multi-shot. He's dead. He's straight up dead. Nothing that can be done to save him.
Yeah, this is what you fear, right? Timber hit 6. Really good job by Hanskin. Just by not being bottom, he's helped S4. And now that he's level 6 on the Timber, there's no one that can go play against him.
But who goes down there?
Maybe Puck, but no one can stand against the tower. The Glyph is down, Catapult's still alive. So this is 100% dead tower. It's just it's just wild. And doesn't he'll just go top and handle Pasha after this if it's necessary to defend this tower.
When a Na'Vi, they're trying to put the pressure in on this lane. It's going to be hard to make plays, though. Alliance with 3 of them around. Disruptions and arrows ready to come out with counterplays. Young G's trying to get him with this Invis route. But they're playing very carefully here. As you can see, Nico Baby staying right back behind the tower. 1 creep away from hitting the 6 as well.
Any moment now.
They really want to make a play here, Na'Vi. They're trying very hard to force this.
The problem is they've just abandoned bottom effectively. Puck is now just sitting top, praying he finds a kill. Limp free farming with teleport active. So if you make a dive under tower here, you're just going to get screwed.
Now, in fact, it's going to be Alliance the ones to make a play, as there's the combo. Disruption into the arrow will secure the kill onto Pasha. Merchant coming charging across, trying to stop them. And Pasha already down. And TPing over, in fact, as well to continue this fight. Ilias and Young G also still in the neighborhood. That's Limp. He's charging in, chains up. Onto Immersion. Arrow does clip onto the Vengeful Spirit. The coil will be snapped as he's trying to charge forward for this one. Nico Baby's got the lockdown onto the Puck. Young G caught in the chrono. Can he get out in time with the orb? He can. Nico Baby finds 1 bash, but needed another to get that kill. So Young G able to keep himself alive despite the chrono being dropped. FNG, easy deny from Nico Baby.
I don't know. He didn't even think about saving him or running interference. He's just waiting for the deny. Just keep in mind, this is still without S4.
Limp's in. He's gone back up here on the high ground. He's still got another remnant and 3 bolt charges, so he should be fine. In fact, may even start thinking about going back in on that one. Would certainly have if Hans can hit the arrow. In fact, he didn't even need to, because S4, of all the time that this focus has stayed around top, he's managed to make it over and join the party. He's over, deep in onto Pasha. Pasha trying to hide in the trees. Limp clears them out with the remnants. Alliance will be able to claim another as S4 getting involved. 2-0-1, 2K lead now, 6-1 at 9 minutes in. Alliance off to a pretty fiery start here in this game too.
I love the move from S4. He pushes bottom, TP's mid to defend tower against Drow, who then no longer can stay in lane because there's an S4 hero just running at him. And he just moves along top to Pinsir and play with Limp, who went for this phase boots build, allows him to get really aggressive, and it also makes that slight hit just a little bit harder on these squishy heroes like Puck Veno. Just solid play. Alliance taking map control once again. And Youngji only level 6, man. We talk about Puck a lot. This is similar to a Quap. You got a snowball, and so far, nothing doing.
No, things have not got better for him since that blunder in the mid lane. As top lane S4 being charged here. Immersion going to continue to commit incredibly deep, though. Immersion will live. Youngji able to turn with the silence. Stop S4 from getting in. Arrow off the mark. Youngji, he's got to get out of this one. Orbs out as he looks to retreat. S4 hot on the chase though. Gets the connection with the chakram as he got the burst. Chains will connect. S4's being a little careful now, no. Doesn't want to get any closer towards the tier 2.
You can't kill him. He again has that soul ring. To go with the arcanes, it means he's effectively never out of mana. You just drop boots real quick, pop soul ring. And yeah, he's just unkillable.
See, down bottom FNG.
He's not unkillable.
Will die here. Crystallized immersion, easily able to turn on him. Alliance continuing to hold control of the map. All 3 lanes being looked upon by them. Nico Baby's got the full Midas on its way out in this game. It's going to be done. They're going to try and go on him. See if they can get him. Again, snapping the coil so he can get the jump off, but is he going to get the chance to? No. Too many silences and control. They will take him away. And always that painful death. The death as the Midas was done, so will slow down that first use of it.
That's one that would definitely tilt me were I his captain. You just died to place this nice ward. You know there's heroes in the area. Nico just getting a little greedy for that extra wave. And as you said, will not be able to Midas, but it does reveal coil used. Just push mid now, Alliance.
I mean, S4, he's just going in. He's got nothing that he fears right now as this Timbersaw. Feels very confident that NaVi don't have any means to answer this hero at this early stage of the game. He's in on to Pasha. Pasha bursts down by the magical of him and Limp. I mean, S4 just leading the way. This Timber pick is, you know, S4 showing us how strong it really is this game so far.
Yeah, and it makes sense to go Midas on Nico as well, because he's going to have so much more space, right? S4 will be the one getting aggressive, shoving waves. There's going to be less space on the map for this Void, so except a slower game, you're always going to outcarry a Drow Puck in the late game anyway. So just take it chill. And Alliance so far doing great. You know, these 2 cores just continuously making space. They've left Nico this area down bottom. He has the ward from FNG, as we previously mentioned. Midas finally used. FNG, though, probably gonna die again.
Yeah, won't be any difficulties here. 3 of them on the Shadow Demon. Same time, though, as that move's made, you see on the mid lane, they're trying to go in on a Crystallize. S4 a little cautious, though, knows Navi sweeping across. The coil comes down, catches onto Limp. Is he going to be able to jump out in time? He's not. Immersion in with the ult, takes down Limp. As Navi, on top of the small kill of FNG, are able to sweep over. You can see S4, he was like, we got to get out of it, dude, but Limp, he didn't quite make it.
It's just a little too greedy in this. You look at Alliance, right? You're like, maybe Hanskin could have been there to find that kill, but Hanskin's farming a free lane top. Nico, baby, sure he has Chrono, but he's bottom farming a free lane. You don't want either one of these heroes to not hit free creeps. So you like the move if it forces Navi there, but again, as you said, you know, as soon as you get coiled, you know you've messed up, and ultimately Ember Spirit's always going to have a tough time against Puck Spirit Breaker. If you get the coil come out, you're just going to die, especially now that they have the level 6 up on the Breaker as well. Immersion.
Kill. Straight back in. Arrow is going to miss here. Pasha going to try his best to run, but they've got the chase. Damage there from these 3 points from the Flame Guard as they burn Pasha down. And Limp taking very minimal damage himself.
Yeah, but note how many heroes rotated over, right? All 4 Navi conglomerated in this triangle. And S4 still confident, like, oh, hey guys, there's heroes here. All right, and Navi retreat from a solo Timbersaw, who's just, at this point, unkillable. 1600 HP, max armor, hood up. Yeah, smoke out, charge somewhere else. Pretty much your only play. You've got to move away from S4. Fighting into him is almost always going to end up in disaster for Navi.
See what they can find here, Navi, with the smoke. They need to try and get a hit on Alliance, as Alliance are slipping further and further ahead very early on in this game. 4K lead at 14 minutes, and Lead that when it comes to hitting creeps, Navi's heroes aren't going to be able to catch up. They've got to find kills. So we have Nico, baby. FNG entering the high ground. There's the chrono down. It's going to be able to catch the Spirit Breaker as he comes charging through. Chains out onto the both of them, followed up by the arrow. A smooth move from Alliance yet again.
It's just so easy for them to play this game right now. They're just reading NaVi like a book. Play away from that smoke move, wait, smoke back across the map, an easy two-man chrono. But it's just so much easier for them because they're the ones that can show in lane. You've got Hanskin just playing top, no problem. S4's, we watched him walk up a hill into 4 heroes, and the 4 heroes walked away from him. It's the benefit of the Timber Saw when you get ahead like this. And yeah, you've got a blink now on Young G, but who's doing damage is the problem. Like, Ember, Flame Guard, plus the leap away, Void, leap away, and Timber Saw, 1 billion effective HP. It's just so difficult for this NaVi lineup to find kills, and they're geared for that, engineered to just find one target and take them out. With the Spirit Breaker charge to provide vision, are they going to go for Limp now? I don't even know. What do you do? They're just unsure.
It's hard to make moves.
They want to kill him.
They're looking at them. Can they go for this? I mean, FNG sat behind him, ready for any sort of move that's made onto the Ember. FNG's just going to be in with the counterplay, with the save. They're going to try. Here we go. There's FNG buying the time and the safety for Limp to come out. Is it enough safety, though? The magic missile and the ult. It's not going to kill Limp. He's fine. Now S4 comes sweeping in from the side, pushing them back. Youngji jumps over to the orb, but they're chasing in. Silence will stop S4 for the moment.
No.
Limp, he's in with the remnants. Youngji goes down. I mean, the trap's just perfectly set by Alliance. They're just a step ahead of NaVi each and every time now.
This does not feel like the same team that played against EG yesterday. Oh, and they're just on point, constantly ahead of NaVi. It just makes so much sense. Like, S4 is showing mid. He's not the target. They're not going to go top. You see the creep wave almost near the tier 2. So it's only Limp that's a target. He makes himself this way because FNG's like, yeah, bro, just bait. Surprised that they weren't able to execute maybe a little bit better. They're opening with Coil instead of like a silence charge with the Blink Dagger. And Crystallize, like, he's going to have a Hurricane Pike soon, I suppose, but just don't know how relevant it's going to be. There's just no damage output for the side of NaVi.
There's so much weight on the Drow to be able to carry this up. So, arrow off the mark. In fact, Limp, he runs in. He's going to get silenced. The coil is down onto the 3 of them. Young G finding the perfect setup. Charge over from Immersion. They've taken down Limp. Can they get Hanskin? Hanskin tries to lead to the side. Crystallize able to turn, take him out. It's a double kill for the Drow. FNG trying to hide in the trees, but NaVi, they've got the numbers. The 5 of them are here. As NaVi, they punch back in style there. Young G getting the 3-man coil. Limp getting just a little too aggressive. The silences are out, and he's still not quite ready to keep himself safe against them.
Yeah, so you can see NaVi plenty of damage when they catch heroes without FNG and prepared. S4 not going to move forwards. Has a Yul, so he should be okay. But I mean, Nico's still so huge. These 2 cores are going to be big trouble.
Yeah, NaVi need a lot more of that to really slow Alliance down.
What?
I admit nothing but my sadness.
Force just so deep. He doesn't even care.
Oh, he's in. He's got the Yule set up, but Hanskin wasn't able to find the arrow connection with the neutral creep still up.
I love Nico's just ignoring all of this. He doesn't even give a damn. He's just farming Ancients. It's like, have fun, everyone. S4, keep running at people. Surprised he went for the Sange first before the Asha, but I mean, it kind of just demonstrates how comfortable Alliance are. He just wants the survivability. I don't care about scaling that little bit better. As long as we don't chain feed for the next 5-10 minutes, it feels like Alliance should be able to solidify their late game. Once Limp has a Yules, he's not nearly as easy to take out with these Coil silence combos.
Yeah, he really needs to get that finished. These silences are very potent against the mobile cores of Alliance. These squishier ones, at least, and Limp being the squishiest.
Got some really nice neutral items to the Aquila for the Void, and I think that we're gonna see Clumsy Net on the Timber, and this arrow should hit. Touchdown.
They're getting a lot of kills on the Pasha this game. Alliance doing a very good job of bullying the Venom. 7 deaths on Pasha so far.
It's such a hard lane. I think this SD pick was just sick against the hero. You just see him constantly being disrupted. Then both supports just kill the enemy offlaner, and he's got mech essence ring. It's not as if he's an easy bust. As Void We see this all the time. Nico Baby, Chrono ready. Let's go use it.
Let's see what they can get here. Immersion charging in. Trying to start things onto Limp. Youngji in again with the follow-up. Dream Coil down. Is it enough to do anything about it? Doesn't look like it. Flame Guard up. Limp's able to tank the damage from the two of these heroes alone. Starting to push them back. And Nico Baby comes in with a Chrono. And he's done it perfectly. Catches not just the Drow, but also Ilias as well. So there's no swap save. Limp diving in deeper. Chain set up for S4 to come crashing across with the Timber Chain. Bashes out into Immersion. Alliance, they've found 3. Pasha left behind here, hiding in the trees. Youngji watching from the high ground. S4 just plays straight into the face of him. The Yule Scepter stopping him from being able to jump over to the orb. S4 just having full control of this game.
He's playing near flawlessly. Sick Yules to hit the combo. Puck was not able to orb away. Limp had some really nice chains. He did it while zipping through to grab both supports underneath the tier 2 tower of NaVi. And Alliance just straight up looking like a higher class than NaVi at the moment. Demonstrating that I think they have the winning record in El Clasico.
I think they must.
I think they're up by like
they must do
a decent amount. Just been a stronger team, more consistent team that is for longer. And ultimately, the trouble with Navi's lineup is again these two supports. They're very tunnel vision. It's Venge Spearbreaker. You got no AOE to speak of. Drow's damage output just isn't that formidable yet. Neither is the puck. So how do you really open a fight properly if Alliance bring 5? And S4 is just playing flawlessly. He's constantly that guy in front. There's no Chrono now, so perhaps it's an opening. But you got to find initiation. And look at Alliance. Like, they're aware of this. They're not going to let anybody squishy get picked off for free.
Dire's structures are fortified.
That's the Yule's done now for Limp. Greaves on Hansken as well, so defensive mechanisms have stepped up for Alliance in these team fights. NaVi get the space, though, for the tower. No jump from Alliance around here. They'll let that one go now. It's hard for NaVi to take a 5-on-5, though, straight up there. I mean, they're heading towards the pit. Can they go for this? This seems a little scary. They're not going to want to start hitting that Roche whilst 5 heroes are up on Alliance. It's far too risky.
The thing is about these Venom wards as well is they're just giving away
a lot of gold nowadays, right, with the new patch?
Yeah, S4 also can just walk forwards. Typically, these wards keep people away from areas. Timbersaw loves the wards because he just gets armor stacks for free. So you don't have that necessity to hit a jungle camp and then go enter the fight. You just walk into the Venom wall. And there's so much threat as well for these arrows. You can combo it off of Chrono, off Yules, off SD.
See Pasha in the river. That's for not going to be quite able to get in on top of him, and still Alliance. They are going to be aware that NaVi are just sticking around here. They're looking for some sort of opportunities to maybe get into the Roche pit, but it seems hard to find that. Yeah, they've got to find a pick-off first, and here we have it from NaVi. Smoking up.
This is so hard. They're forced to force it, you know. It's a low percentage play, but you got to try something. You're just getting out-farmed. S4.
Who can they catch? And they got the coil, but Nico Baby, he just isn't instant. Instantly turns, drops the Chrono, because he knows as long as he puts that Chrono down between him and the rest of the team, NaVi can't commit for the fight. Immersion thinking about getting in with the ult. They did get the poison over onto a fair few of Alliance, but Alliance, they're just able to keep themselves sustained. The Greaves are popped. Limp and S4 move in. It's 4 dead on NaVi. Jump over as well towards Youngji. Youngji, is he going to be able to get away? He's got another ult, but S4 closes him with a chain, picks him up with the Yule Scepter. It'll be the self-Yules trying to keep himself alive, but the bash is there. S4 gets the triple kill. And that really feels like that move may have been a bit of a last hurrah for NaVi. Is now down 12k, 22-9. Also about to lose Roche in the Aegis towards Alliance. It is starting to get very tough once again to see how NaVi can get themselves back into this game.
I'm trying to find ways, Owen, and I just don't see it. It just started once again from the laning phase. Alliance getting everything that they wanted. And they just have map control. NaVi, they're forced to make moves, but Alliance are just reading them like a book. Anytime S4, he's regular game warden, smells smoke, walks forward, as you said, Nico Baby, just get the Chrono up. Just don't die. If you just, it doesn't matter if we even waste Chronosphere. It doesn't matter if there's just one hero, Venge swaps him out. As long as you don't get burst down in this opening engagement, there's nothing NaVi can do to win a fight.
Yeah, just incredibly heads up there. I mean, you've seen that play happen many times before. The Void, he's going to panic, right? He's not going to have the sense of mind to say, I'm dropping Chrono. Yeah. Nico Baby.
And I love the itemization from both of them. You know, just the casual Midas, because you know the game's going to be a little slower, and then the Timbersaw going for a Bloodstone. In this case, just makes total sense. He's 2,500 health, plus he's going to have scaling potential. He's able to spam mana. He is always on map. S4, I don't think he's healed this game. Like, have we seen him back in the fountain?
He hasn't. No, I'm pretty sure he hasn't needed to. Maybe for the mana in the early game, but at this point, he's just king of the map. They cannot stop this man. And Alliance, anybody that steps anywhere close to him is going to be in a whole lot of pain. Zhengji down again, out for 45. The push here on the bottom lane going to secure this tier 2 tower. And I'll be very surprised if we're going to see S4 have any deaths by the end of this one. 11-0-5. This is definitely one for the S4 fans this game. This is the S4 top performance.
And there's no Vessel anywhere close on the side of NaVi either, so he's just not a real target. Like maybe if he dives Fountain, they'll have a shot, but right now it just looks like a slow march to victory for Alliance.
And we got Nico, baby.
He
just goes straight in aggressively. The Chrono's up. He's caught the two of them. Ilias has got a swap. He's going to swap the Veno out. Crystallize is going to continue to get focused as Crystallize falls. It did allow Pasha to get the ult off. Nico, baby, taking hits underneath the tier 4s. Will get swapped back in. He's got the Aegis, though. He's ready for round 2. S4 starting to step forward. I mean, still, you see him just at full HP, knowing there's nothing that can threaten him. Nico, baby himself will be coiled underneath the towers, but S4 bursts down Pasha with the Chakram. Bloodstone heal also keeping him alive. Nico Baby's able to jump out to the side. Immersion's charging in onto Limp, but Limp jumps out with the Remnant. S4 turns, claims another kill for himself. They're fully focusing down this Timber. They're trying to take S4 down. He's been silenced, but he's got so much armor building up. The defensive disruption offered up from FNG. Nico Baby jumps back in over towards Pasha. S4 gets the Chakram connection in onto the Venomancer, goes across with the chain, and Hansken, he's getting focused, will fall. Youngji with a self-heals trying to get away. S4 tries to turn, but another silence comes out onto the Timber. They're focusing down S4. Can they kill him? Self-fuels to remove the silence. He's got chain, back up, slides to the side, also throwing out a Chakram. They do find the stun, though. They're still struggling to kill him. Another silence is out. They're fully focusing with the arrows. Can they do it? They can. They finally bring down the Timber. NaVi are able to do what seemed to be the impossible for this game so far, but they do manage to do it, and this is... It's 3 arrows down. They do defend the base. Did cost them 3 buybacks, but they do defend.
It certainly took a lot of resources, though, Owen. 3 buybacks, and the entire second half of the fight was taking place under tier 4 towers, with the tier 3 tower still alive. So 3 towers, 3 buybacks, and still you could argue Alliance came out ahead. But they did get big cores. Crystallize notably took out the big streak. So he's going to get effectively almost a full item off of that fight. No one left with buyback. Orb of Destruction, that'll be helpful. You need all the damage you can get. Telescope too, hell yeah.
That's a nice one for the Drow Avenge lineup. That's going to be very... I mean, that's probably the one item at that tier with this lineup that you're hoping for. You get that, that's top of the list.
You'll see issues with Alliance's draft if they're going to get ranged, as we saw in that last engagement. Again, they just ran out of room. You know, you can't go into the fountain to find these ranged cores. But ultimately, if NaVi are allowed to just sort of assemble, you know, a nice concave formation, somebody goes a little too deep, they get distracted by a Spear Breaker, and the Drow and Venge and Puck just pump the damage in. Veno gets ult on 3 or 4. That might be enough to swing things around.
Yeah, we'll see, because it's going to be the test, right, for NaVi. They did that hold. They had to use 3 buybacks. Can they do it without the need to fall back on those buybacks?
Yeah, I think Alliance are in a nice spot here. If they want to spend buybacks offensively, you could theoretically just take this fight. Maybe your Timber Void dies. If you get Coil, Spearbreaker ult used, Veno ult used, you have such a huge advantage in a fight that a buyback into a push is just unstoppable. Like, especially with no buybacks to fall back on for NaVi. DD now bottled. You've got the Chrono up on Nico, so he's going to charge straight forwards, find somebody. But NaVi playing it safe. Pretty much everybody in base, the exception of their Puck. Arrow. Touchdown.
Ilias. He's going to come in with the swap, though. Keep Pasha safe. Will cost him his life, but he saved the Veno. Ilias down for 40, and Chrono still up. 3 waves. It's going to be moving in on mid soon. Actually, whoa, Nico, baby, he's just going to go for the deep Chrono. Straight into the bait.
No.
Immersion, he gives his life to block the arrow, but it only ends up in his demise as well. As both him and Pasha now out for over a minute. No buyback on these heroes. I mean, classic Nico, baby, right? There's no call to this man. He is just in, diving tier 3s. He knows, he gets in with a chrono like that, they're going to have a solid shot at doing huge damage to Navi's base.
Yep. I mean, we saw it in the first game, too. He just plays so aggressively. This is the one hero I'm always afraid of watching Nico Baby play. His Slark is great, too, but the hero just isn't. The Void, at the other hand, is just insane. And the way Alliance are playing around it, it feels like they're just constantly aware of the objectives they need to take. What they need to do, they back away, get tier 2. You've got control now. You'll get all 4 bounty runes. They've got both outposts. Just starving Navi's side of any and all resources.
Well, for sure. I mean, do you think if you're looking at this series as any of the other teams here in this tournament, you're definitely sort of, your opinion of the Nico Baby Void is being bumped up in terms of what you need to really think about in the draft?
It just complements Alliance's playstyle too well, it feels. Especially getting its second phase. Frees up the hero pool for S4 considerably. Yeah, I mean, you've got a force out. I'm just shocked there's still no one even like thinking about going for a Spirit Vessel so far, aside of NaVi. Yeah, it's just time to push towers. You've got Aegis up. Do you have Aegis up? No.
No. We saw it go down. Remember the tier 4 dive from Nico Baby just earlier when he was going in?
Yeah, of course.
And here we have, again, just NaVi at this point. It's got to all be about the high ground defense. See if you can trip Alliance up as they try and dive in onto you. You've still got all your 3 racks, all your 3 tier 3 towers alive. That's 4.
Arrow.
And going straight in here. Starting to take a little bit of damage now. Crystallize is starting to build up. FNG offers him some safety from the multi-shot. The coil, it's gonna be off the mark. Not a single catch with that one.
I love how Alliance are playing this. Like, it's so low cost to initiate as they are. Just try and find somebody with a Yules or a Chains into the arrow. If it lands, that might be a kill. And NaVi, if you want to truly initiate, it requires far more commitment. Oh, look. Oh, no. Of all Mantas.
Oh, Elias will come in with a swap. But Nico, baby, he's ready to dive. Another swap will get Crystallized out of the harm's way again. And they're jumping over. FNG with the disruption setup. Limp is on top of him. The Slider Fist will bring Crystallized down. There's no buyback available on the Drow. Alliance just beating NaVi back to the fountain. Double kill for S4. As this one, it's over. GG is called. Alliance will take this game too. The series is theirs. 2-0 for Alliance. And I mean, yeah, today Alliance just on that top form. Well, we saw some real performances from the team across the board.